Hey everyone, Addie Gundry here in the RecipeLion Test Kitchen. I'm here with Jessica, as always, and we are going to make you a very fun, delicious, easy treat for the weekend because there's a lot to celebrate coming up. Cinco de Mayo, the Kentucky Derby, it's sunny out, I don't know, whatever you want to celebrate, we want to show you how with this delicious chocolate trifle. Everything is easy, comes from a box, which is super fun. And there's a half a cup of Bailey's in it. And you're not cooking this off, which means every scoop of this you get, you'll have a little hint of Bailey's. So let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do is make the pudding layer. And I have the biggest bowl in the entire world here because we are making a lot of pudding. We are going to make 3 boxes of pudding. The greatest thing about this is it takes a minute or so to stir. And we don't need to worry about it setting up and getting stiff because the whole trifle is going in the fridge for 8 hours. So we're gonna put all of our pudding in here. Now each package of pudding, which you may not know, makes 3 cups. So it's not as much as you think. We're gonna put 9 cups of pudding in there. I guess that's kind of a lot of pudding, but I'm just gonna throw my trash back there. We're making 9 cups of pudding, and this will be the pudding layer. Now, the second thing we're gonna do while I get this ready, I'm throwing pudding all over your computer.
It's okay.
Is we're going to take our brownies. Now, I got Little Debbie Cosmic Brownies. I hope that brings you a little blast from the past. Tom here was saying that he used to have his mom put these in his lunchbox, which is so cute. I don't know if that was like when he was a kid or recently.
Still does it.
Still does it. But we're using store-bought brownies because we just want to remove that extra step for you. Of course, if you want to make your own homemade brownies or box brownies, you definitely can. But we're using 2 boxes of the Cosmic Little Debbie Brownies. As always, our recipe is on RecipeLion. You can click on the link below. But first we'll make our pudding with our gallons of milk here. So I have 3 boxes in here. Each pudding container wants 3 cups of cold milk. So we're gonna let's do the math there. What is that? 9 cups of milk. All right, 2, 4. Any questions while I'm measuring? 6.
So I know that this version is alcoholic. Do you have any recommendations to make a non-alcoholic version?
That's a great question. That's 8 cups. I need 1 more cup. I do. Here's what you can do. You could use coffee, which is kind of fun, which will give you a different kind of little pep in your step. So you could use a little coffee. You could use a little coffee and cream, which sort of resembles like a Bailey's.
What about for kids if you don't want them to have alcohol or coffee?
Jessica, you're always thinking of the right questions. You probably don't want those kids hyped up. So another thing you could do is chocolate syrup, or essentially you really could just omit this. So what we're going to do with it is we're going to pour it over the brownies and crush the brownies, and it absorbs that flavor. The purpose of it is for the flavor and that little alcohol, same with coffee, before the flavor and that little kind of buzz. So you don't have to do it. You could just mush your brownies, maybe put in a little chocolate sauce, a little milk if you wanted actually, just to mush them down. But you don't really have to worry about anything if you don't want to. But I'm making I've never made this much pudding in my life. It's kind of fun. So I'm gonna have Jessica stir this.
Oh, great.
And I didn't tell her she was gonna do that, but I'm gonna tell her now. Okay, so I'm all over the place. Next layer, let's do these brownies I keep talking about. Here are Cosmic Brownies, and all we're gonna do is kind of mush them together with the Bailey's. If you made brownies from scratch, you could poke holes in them with a fork, and that way you could dump the Bailey's in kind of when they're warm, and the brownie would absorb that Bailey's. But because these are store-bought, that ship has sort of sailed, and so they're no longer warm, and so we're just gonna crush them up, add the Bailey's. Something about these are so satisfying. Like, they're just so good.
Does it matter that those are denser than homemade brownies would be?
It doesn't, because what I always say with a no-bake dessert is you really can't mess it up, because you're kind of just putting it all together in one giant thing and then eating it. And so it's sort of just delicious no matter what. Now, if you want, you could take sort of like a spatula, start mushing these But what we're gonna do is let this Bailey's, half a cup of it, over the top, go right into all that chocolate. We're just gonna sort of let it sit and absorb. You could just eat these too as is if you wanted. I mean, I'm not above that as an idea.
Do you have any other flavor suggestions for, say the pudding if you wanted to combine that with the brownies?
Sure, there's definitely, you could do vanilla pudding for sure. You could also do caramel pudding exists. What else is out there?
Banana?
Sure, banana chocolate, why not? Again, you can't really mess
With rum chata.
We got a suggestion from the peanut gallery that you could do rum chata instead of Bailey's, which is also kind of a fun idea, not gonna lie. Okay, look at this pudding. It's thickening. Okay, our first layer will be the brownies. Then we're gonna do a little pudding. Then we're gonna do a little Heath bar crushed up. Then we're gonna do a little Cool Whip, and we're gonna keep layering. So what I'm gonna do is crush my Heath bar. You could use a food processor if you wanted to do that and crush it all. You could also use Butterfinger or Snickers or Twix. This is just a really fast way to do it without adding. The one reason I don't like using the food processor is because it's one more thing to clean in my kitchen. And so if I can just chop these up in a rough chop, then that makes me happy. Look at that pudding. Good job. Getting your workout today. You don't have to go to the gym. Great. All right. Any other questions while we're chopping?
What other toppings would you recommend with this aside from the candy bars?
Sure, so you can do, we're gonna put some more sprinkles on top. You could do Oreos, Chips Ahoy, a cookie. Again, this is just a party in a bowl. So you can kind of do whatever you want. Check this out. See how it's all absorbing? That's kind of a fun little trick. I'd eat a piece, but I might not be able to finish this Facebook Live. All right?
And what sort of event would you say a dessert like this would be good for?
Well, this weekend is, like I said, Cinco de Mayo and the Kentucky Derby, so maybe you're going to someone's house to watch it. I love bringing desserts like this to people's houses because it's really easy. You just bring a bowl. It's a make-ahead thing. We're going to make this. It chills for 8 hours in the fridge, which means you could make it today or tomorrow and then bring it on Saturday. Who doesn't want to make ahead dessert? Ooh.
Could you do individual ones in, mason jars or something like that?
What a great idea. You could definitely do little individual ones, which is cute. You could tie a ribbon around a mason jar, do it as gifts, seal it up. Should we make it? Let's make it. Thank you, Jessica, for your...
Do you want this?
No, we can just
Great.
throw that behind us.
Great.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is put our brownie layer in here. Look how fun that is. It just kind of became this Bailey's mush. All right. You may see some gold there. We spray painted the bottom of this gold. Don't worry, it's not in the bowl. Wow, you guys, I can smell this Bailey's from here. It's fantastic. All right, so there's your Bailey's layer. Now, we're gonna put a little, you know what? We're gonna put pudding on top next. Beautiful pudding. You don't have to let this harden because, like I said, we're putting it in the fridge for 8 hours. See if I can get this.
Hold it.
It's a lot of pudding, you guys, which I love. Nice, beautiful layer. Okay, let's add some of our candy. I'm gonna add some sprinkles, maybe.
Kaylee asked if other pudding flavors would work. Can you go over again what other flavors you might recommend?
I sure can. I would do vanilla. I think vanilla would be great. I would also try a caramel pudding. Jessica said maybe banana. Banana chocolate is very popular. Any kind of pudding. Look at that. Okay, we got our Cool Whip in there. It's our next layer. Okay, now we're gonna do our second brownie layer. You guys, this is a little messy. As you can tell, we're always a little messy in here, but that's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're spooning this out. So when you serve it, people are going to end up getting a little bit of everything just because it's all spooned out. All right, we're gonna do our pudding. Tom's laughing over here at me because I'm getting pudding everywhere. Let us know what you're gonna make this for. Again, maybe a birthday party. Ooh, pudding on the floor.
Megan commented, could you add coffee or espresso beans at all, or would that be weird?
That's not weird. That was another option. So if you don't want to serve your guests alcohol in the trifle, if you just want to keep it non-alcoholic, you could definitely do coffee instead of the alcohol in the brownies. So that would be fun. Do a little espresso.
And then Katie asked if homemade whipped cream would hold up as well as the Cool Whip.
You know, Katie, that's a good question. I don't think it would. I'm trying to think on the spot. The pressure of Facebook Live is real right now. Cool Whip has a very magical power. You know, whipped cream can last in your fridge for a while, but when you're stacking it like this, I would hate to have it kind of get any sort of flatter. But, I don't know, I'm thinking. What do you think, Jessica?
I mean, you can always give it a go and see what happens. You know, this is a pretty easy dessert to try again if you needed to, but we would probably recommend sticking with the buoyancy that Cool Whip has.
Yes, that's a good answer. And if you do it, let us know. We're going to top with some sprinkles. You know, if you also have a candle, this could be a great birthday cake. Right? How fun would that be?
Well, would the candle sink in?
No.
It's a lot of pudding.
You just put one little candle in and it would be a cute little adorable birthday cake.
They probably don't use homemade whipped cream with the candle.
That's true. Look! Look how beautiful. And what we're going to do is put in the fridge for 8 hours. Then when it comes out, you'll use a spoon and you'll scoop it right out, put it in beautiful bowls, put a candle in it, and you've got yourself a delicious dessert. All right. Thanks so much, you guys. We'll see you next week on Thursday. And next week, we're going to do something a little healthier. We have a new cookbook coming out that's sort of the opposite of this. It's called the Lightened Up Book. And so it's a bunch of healthy recipes from our test kitchen, because here at the RecipeLion Test Kitchen, we like to do everything from pudding to healthy stuff, and we hope to see you soon.